Ukrainian says it is strengthening its forces around Bakhmut in the eastern Donbass region and repelling constant attacks there by the Russian mercenary group Wagner. Kiev has sent reinforcements to Soledar, a small town near Bakhmut where the situation was particularly difficult, Ukrainian officials said on Monday. The enemy again made a desperate attempt to storm the city of Soledar from different directions and threw the most professional units of the Wagnerites into battle, Ukrainian military said in a statement. Yevgeny Prigozhin, Wagner's founder, has been trying to capture Bakhmut and Soledar for months at the cost of many lives on both sides. He said on Saturday that its significance lay in the network of mines there. It not only has the ability to hold a big group of people at a depth of 80 to 100 meters, but tanks and infantry fighting vehicles can also move about, Prigozhin said. Military analysts said the strategic military benefit for Moscow would be limited. A U.S. official has said Prigozhin, a powerful ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin, wants the salt and gypsum from the mines. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said in his nightly video remarks on Sunday that Bakhmut and Soledar were holding on despite widespread destruction after months of attacks. Our soldiers are repelling constant Russian attempts to advance, he said. In Soledar, things are very difficult. Further north in the Kharkiv region, a Russian missile strike on a marketplace in the village of Shevchenkov killed 2 women and wounded 4 people, including a 10-year-old girl, regional prosecutors said. Video footage from police and Ukrainian presidential office showed badly injured people lying on the ground and rescue workers sifting through piles of rubble, burning stalls, and a large crater. A police officer carried a girl with blood on her face from the scene. Andriy Yermak, head of the Ukrainian presidential administration, called the perpetrators common terrorists in a Telegram post. Russia did not immediately comment on the reported missile attack on the village, which Kiev recaptured from Moscow in September. Zelensky made a new denunciation of what he called Russian failure to observe a ceasefire it had declared for Russian Orthodox Christmas on Friday and Saturday. Ukrainian did not agree to the ceasefire, which it called a Russian excuse to reinforce its troops. Both sides accused the other of continuing hostilities over the holiday. Russians were shelling Kherson with incendiary ammunition immediately after Christmas, he said, referring to the southern city abandoned by Russian forces in November. Airstrikes also hit Kramatorsk and other cities in the east. On Sunday, Russians said a missile strike on Kramatorsk had killed 600 Ukrainian soldiers, although Ukrainian denied there were any casualties in the attack. As Moscow's invasion of Ukrainian grinds towards the 1-year mark, Russian military is under domestic pressure to deliver battlefield successes. Hawkish voices have sought an escalation of the war effort after the loss of captured territory and high rates of deaths and injuries. Russian, which initially cited a need to rid Ukraine of nationalists, now says it is fighting a Western threat to its own existence. Kiev and its Western allies, which have imposed broad sanctions on Moscow and sent Ukrainian weapons to defend itself, say the invasion was entirely unprovoked. Meanwhile, the United Kingdom is considering supplying Ukraine with tanks for the first time, Sky News reported, citing a Western source. There was no immediate comment from Britain's Ministry of Defense. France, Germany, and the United States all pledged last week to send armored fighting vehicles, fulfilling a major long-standing request of Kyiv. The Kremlin said new deliveries of Western weapons would deepen the suffering of the Ukrainian people, but not affect the outcome of the conflict.